Switcheroo, switching between some of the outputs of Chebz. Chebz is a harmonic oscillator. It has a fundamental frequency which you can control with an input, and it also emits the harmonics over that frequency up to the 9th harmonic. So we're taking some of those harmonics out into the inputs of Switcheroo directly, and some of them out into the volume inputs, so they're effectively being cross-modulated with the main inputs, so we're getting some cross-modulation between different harmonics, which produces some nice sort of FM-ish metallic kind of tones. And the frequency of Chebz itself is being driven by an 8-step sequencer. You'll notice that Switcheroo is at 15 steps, so those two sequencers are going to move in and out of phase with each other. And there's also a little bit of FM modulation on Chebz from an LFO over on the left, just to sweeten it up a bit. We're taking Switcheroo out into a delay unit, and then that out into Scapegrace, which at the moment isn't doing anything, but we'll kind of introduce that as we go along. So here's how the patch sounds without any of Scapegrace in it. It's just a kind of raw output, again slightly sort of bell-like metallic tones running around in it is a repeating pattern, but the phasing between the two sequences means that it has to go around quite a few loops before it repeats. And I'm going to start triggering Scapegrace. I'm going to take the first trigger out from Switcheroo, which is triggered every time we switch into the first channel. Pull that into the trigger and mix that in a bit. And we can hear that we're getting occasional sort of random echoes and reflections of the input. I'm also going to sweeten that up with a little bit of pitch modulation on Scapegrace, which means that things will sometimes be slightly sharper, sometimes slightly flatter. And we'll also add in a little bit of random doubling, so here and there you hear it play at double speed, the thing is playing back, and some reverse, so sometimes it will reverse it. I'm also now going to make the size of the replay a bit longer, and put a bit more crossfade as well. So now we're getting longer phases picked up and repeated, and I'm going to dial in a little bit of feedback as well, so we'll start feeding back that output into its own recording buffer. Sometimes then you'll hear things played at double speed that were already played at double speed, so the feedback starts to kind of build up higher pitches and so on. And that gives us these sorts of peals of bells sweeping across backwards and forwards. Feedback down a bit. If we take the double all the way up, it will always play at double speed. So now we can hear, actually quite separate from the underlying sequence, these bell tones. I'll turn them down a little bit. And they're there now as a sort of almost like swarm of bees kind of in the background. Or we could just make it entirely that sound pretty much come out. Take the size down below and the crossfade off. Just take the feedback off entirely for a moment. You'll hear it's only triggering when it hits the crossfade into the first channel on Switcheroo. If we bring the size up a bit, we can make those overlap a little more. So that's a bit less of a wild effect of just getting double speed echoes of the sound coming out. Reverse off. If I bring the modulation up to maximum, it starts to sound a bit out of tune. If I bring in some feedback, that will only be intensified. Take the double speed off a bit more clearly. So you get this sort of slurring sound here. Bring the mod back to more sensible. fade. So the fade is when something's triggered, it sort of fades in and fades out again, so you get more gentle transitions. So you can get kind of comparatively dense sounds or comparatively clean sounds. Just take the feedback out. Depending on what you want to hear, and the size all the way up and the fade all the way up. If we move the trigger from Switcheroo to the LFO, we'll get a lot more replays out of Scapegrace and a much more densely layered sound. I've had to control the speed of Scapegrace itself. So that's kind of got quite a few different parameters you can play around to get a sense of what different sounds are possible with this setup.